Welcome to the Razorback Rundown Coaches Show, Episode 4. This episode is sponsored by Holt Funeral Home and Cremation in Poto, Oklahoma. I'm here with Coach Ford. Coach, finally got a win against Wilburton last week, and I just going to kind of get your thoughts on the win on the win last week and how well you thought we played, and talk a little bit about the game against Wilburton.
Well, I think that anytime you can win, I mean, that's nothing that they can take away from you. And I don't care what anybody says. I mean, a win's a win. And as they say, an ugly win beats a pretty loss. And that's kind of where we were. I mean, we did some really good things. We had some guys really show out, ran the ball really hard. And then we'd have a moment or two where we'd kind of shoot ourselves in the foot and didn't look like we played so well. But we played well enough to win the ball game. That's all you can ask for out of kids. And some days you got it, some days you don't. And even on the days you don't, you got to go out there and perform and try to win the ball game. It's exactly what they did.
Absolutely. I know, as a performance throughout the first half was not great at times. Just on your thought, what do you think played into that? They're just not playing well, not being ready to play or whatever, maybe being out of school or anything like that?
Well, I'm not so sure that maybe we didn't take them lightly a little bit, and that kind of affected maybe our pregame mojo or whatever you want to call it. Other than that, we just didn't play assignment football real well. Guys who who knew their job a week before, kind of doing some things that was uncharacteristic of them. But we got her all figured out, and I think the kids played hard and kind of challenged them a little bit at halftime to get it together, and I thought they did.
Awesome. And I know you kind of mentioned it earlier in your first statement, but I want to kind of ask, how important is this win for our program this year going into district play? How big was getting in the win column as we open up district play?
Well, I think it's highly important. You want to win all of them, of course. And, I mean, people can look at the 3 games that we've had, and we're not far off from winning all of those ball games. I mean, we could very easily be sitting 2-1, 3-0 right now, if not for a couple of mistakes of shooting ourselves right in the foot. And that's kind of our MO right now, and that's what we're trying to get ahead of is playing assignment football, playing hard, just knowing your job, doing your job, leaning on one another, and playing as a unit. We're not always the best at that, but we're going to be.
Played really well again. Holding them to really 0 points there. Just speak on the defense play again. I know not much you can say other than us playing hard and playing really good football, but anything stick out in your mind defensively for us this week?
Well, the coaches on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, they do a really good job week in and week out. I mean, they see these teams, they develop some patterns, they look at it, they say, hey, this is what they do, so you know what, we're going to adjust to this, and we're going to get our kids ready, and I think that we've done a really good job of that. Yeah. I think that the game plan's been solid. The kids are bought into playing hard-nosed defense and getting after it. We're fast. They try to be physical, and it's always 2 parts of a great defense.
Absolutely, and I know before we move on to our next district game, I'll ask you one more question. Obviously, after halftime, our team came out a little bit more sense of urgency, a little bit more fire lit. What was said at halftime to kind of get that motivation going, to get them rolling in the second half to help us to victory?
You always get after them, and the age-old butt chewing for what it is. I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, you got a lot of fire underneath them, and like I said, when I say challenged them, that's exactly what it is. I mean, I know we're better than the performance we were putting out.
Right.
Our body of work is better. Just us as a unit is better than what we did the first half. And that's exactly what it was at halftime, just challenged them to answer that call.
Well, I know they did answer the call pretty well as they toughened up and gutted it up for a close win, but a win, like you said. I know we had some really good offensive performances. I know Ruben played well. I know Brewer ran the ball again real well. And at times, offensive line blocked pretty well as well. So moving on from last week, Wilburton's game, moving on to our district opener at Panama against Porter. How important it is to get this first district win and get 1-0 in district this week?
Well, during football season, there's actually 4 seasons. I mean, you have your seasons where you play your scrimmages, then you play your non-district games. That's your second season. Your third season, which is right now, and that's your district games. And you want to be, if you're going to be perfect, right now is when you want to be perfect, because right now everything that you do matters, and you want to push yourself into the best position you can to get into the playoffs. And once you get in the playoffs, it's a brand new season.
Absolutely. I know. Porter, watching film on Porter, they have a really good quarterback and a really good outside linebacker. What's their plan of attack, just to limit their two athletic ability and well as football knowledge to play to take care of on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball?
Offensively, I think our game plan mostly is to clean up our game,
Right.
Really hone in on our discipline and not shoot ourselves in the proverbial foot. And I think if we can do that, we're going to be tough out for anybody.
Right.
We run the ball well. We throw the ball well. We have some really great athletes who can do a lot of great things. Sometimes we just have to get out of our own way a little bit.
Right. Well, good, Coach. Thank you for the update. I know we're all excited for a opening game here at Panama Razorback tomorrow at 7 o'clock as the Porter Pirates come. Panama Razorbacks host the first game in district play. Coach, good talking to you, and we look forward to talking to you next week, hopefully with the district win. With that being said, we're going to interview a few of our players, but for now we have a word from our sponsor.
Hello everyone, my name's TJ Holt, owner, operator, Holt Funeral Home in Poto, Oklahoma.
TJ's Holt passion for families has always been evident. While being mentored by great people at a young age, his heart grew to share his love and compassion for families during difficult times. Helping families through hard times with caring and compassion from a locally owned business is the cornerstone of Holt Funeral Home. Equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, the funeral home is sure to meet all your family's needs during your time of grieving. The simple, elegant layout gives you the feeling of being right at home. Containing 4 private family viewing rooms to a beautiful chapel, Holt Funeral Services is sure to meet all your family's needs. Let TJ Holt be there during life's most difficult time. Holt Funeral Home and Cremation Service is located at 522 Dewey Avenue in Poto, Oklahoma. You can also call TJ today, 918-721-0026. Welcome back to the Razorback Rundown Coaches Show. Thank you to our sponsor, TJ Holt, and his business, the Holt Funeral Service and Cremation. Thank you for being a sponsor of Panama Razorback football. I'm joined here by 2 junior playmakers for the Panama Razorbacks, running back, linebacker, Caleb Brewer, and offensive line and defensive lineman, Jay Skelton. Both had some pretty big games this past Friday night when we played Wilburton in a tough game. And so I'm going to ask Caleb first. Can you give us a little rundown of the game, what was good about it, how you think you played, how you think the team played?
I think the team played pretty well. We played more as an individual first half, and we got some problems solved in halftime. Second half, we finally started to get back to who we are, and we came out with the win.
Awesome, good. It was a gut-wrenching win. Win's a win at all times, and I think we always can't take for granted winning a game, especially on the road, and especially a game before we go into district play. Jay, I'm going to ask you a similar question. How do you think the offensive line overall played in Friday night's game against Wilburton?
Well, in the first half, I didn't think we was ready enough and mentally prepared, and we should have been more prepared. And the first half, we were just, as Caleb said, playing as individuals, not knowing our assignments and kind of doing our own thing, I guess. And second half, after the speech, we got more prepared and kind of did our thing and got back in the groove of things and did a lot better.
Awesome. I'll ask both of you guys this, so we'll pick on Jay first. Jay, what kind of made you? What flipped the switch for you guys? What do you think did it that kind of made us realize, man, we had to get a sense of urgency and take care of business? What do you think flipped the switch for you?
For me, it was a speech at halftime, how we thought we weren't mentally prepared, and thought we were just going to go in there and run all over them, but we didn't, and we knew that they were a lot better than we thought they were, and we just needed to get back in the groove of things.
Yeah, you never can overlook a team, especially this week. Your district play is important. Always getting a win's important. And, Porter is definitely not a team to be overlooking as we play tomorrow for that, especially in district play. Caleb, let me ask you a similar question with that. I mean, what flipped the switch for you? With no, first half for you was kind of lackadaisical. Kind of thought you got hit at one time, but second half you really picked it up on both sides of football and played a pretty good first half, but a really good second half. So what kind of flipped the switch for you?
I saw everybody at halftime. They were just kind of down. No one was really picking it up. So I knew second half we had to bring the intensity, and I just played my part in that. Everybody picked up what they were supposed to.
Awesome.
And we got the win.
Good. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we picked up that intensity and got the W for us last Friday night. Well, this Friday, guys, obviously first big game of the season, really. All games are big games, but this one's a big one because it is a district opener game. And we all know how important district is in getting a district win so we can get a good seat in the playoffs. After watching a little bit on Porter, Caleb, what are some of your thoughts on Porter? How's tomorrow going to look for you? Just what are our expectations?
We really just they have a couple athletes that like to throw the ball a lot. We got to contain the quarterback. He's probably their best player. Offensive line, they're gonna do their assignments, and we're gonna run the ball hard, and we'll find an opening. I think we'll come out with the win tomorrow.
Awesome, Jay. Similar question to you, buddy. What's it going to take for us to bring home that first district win tomorrow?
Well, I think we're just going to have to stick with our assignments, know our jobs, and just play hard and do our jobs right on defense and know what to do.
Right. Very good. Well, I thank you guys for your time. Thank you so much for visiting with me. Some good stuff, guys. Come support these guys. Come support the Panama Razorbacks as we kick off tomorrow night at Panama at 7 o'clock for our first district home game against the Porter Pirates. Also, we want to thank Holt Funeral Home and Cremation Services for sponsoring this video. If you would like to be a sponsor, please follow this link down below and get a hold of me, and we can talk about being sponsored for our next show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, fellas, for being here. Get ready to play. Big game Friday night. Let's take care of business, and always go Razorbacks.